Hey YouTube! Yeah, so I've not been doing very much this week. The test says no, but I totally got COVID down at Hard Rock Hell. Totally. Or just flu, but whatever it was. God, knackered. That video I did when was it Monday night? I was like, sorry I couldn't do it. And I just went so downhill. I'm not that much of a weakling. No, I didn't actually drink that much. It wasn't that. I was relatively sensible. I did have like 4 bottles of Bucky over 3 days, but I was sharing the Bucky as well, which probably means that the guys I was with have got this as well. Finally started to see the light again today though. Basically since Monday I've just been awake for half an hour, go to the toilet, go back to sleep again. That's been what I've done that, to the point of going, alright, it's 4 o'clock. Is it 4 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock at night? I don't know. It's like maybe not 4 o'clock, because 4 o'clock it would still be daylight outside. Is it 6 o'clock? Is it 6 in the morning or 6 at night? Don't know. The Hard Rock Hell was fun. Got some souvenirs like darkness picks. They're right at the front of the darkness. Darkness were on the Friday night, and they were awful good. They really were. I wasn't super impressed with them. I saw them at downloads, but again, a lot of that might be to do with I'm wearing tracky trousers. Disgusting, isn't it? I think one of the reasons that download they weren't that good was just because they'd been up all day. Also, they had the problem with Korn were playing the other stage, and Korn's intro music was louder than the Darkness intro music, and they were on the other stage. So you had they were playing ABBA Arrival, and from the other stage you could just hear. So I think I stayed for 2 songs, but they were on form at Vauxhall Caravan Park, and I think the only reason they did it is because it was a home gig for them. I know they're from Lowestoft, which is 10 minutes down the road, 20 minutes down the road. So Justin was very much on form. Was great fun. Their sound wasn't the best on the weekend, but we're all there. We'll probably talk about this on the live stream. I don't really have anything to talk about. I've got guitars to fix and stuff, but I don't want to fix people's guitars when I'm ill. So here's your guitar. This is great. It was great for one evening, and then I was violently got the flu for 4 days after it. So I was like, maybe I'll just not bother touching anything else. So I've got a big backlog of guitars to do. I don't want to mess about with other people's stuff when I'm ill. Well, now is the first time I think I've been able to stand up for this length of time. I was really terrified about having a shower this morning because I was worried I was going to start wobbling out all over the place, but I survived. The worst hair I've ever had in my life. It was like pure matted. Even my girlfriend, when I answered the phone to her, she's like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "What?" Hair just pure looked like a judge's wig or something. Pure terrible. I've got this lozenge thing. I'm just Scott just did the Florence Nightingale thing there. Just phoned me like walking around Lidl. Aye, soup, that, pointing out shit. So I've got a shopping in, so I don't need to go out and spread this. I don't need to be a spreader. So I've not actually been playing the guitar. This is probably the longest session I've not played the guitar in a couple of years. I did had a guitar and a bass down at Vauxhall Caravan Park. I think Justin Darkness was quite enjoyed saying that. Because he's used to come out and go, yeah, how's it going Wembley and Rio and I don't know Las Vegas and the Budokan and all these places. And it's like, how's it going Vauxhall Caravan Park? Everyone else was calling it Hard Rock Hell, but you know better because they live there. Best band of the weekend were on the Thursday night. On the Friday night, we went and snuck into the after show VIP party bit. To be honest, I wasn't aware we were sneaking in. And I guess this, as long as you've got a drink, you can get in. So it was a bottle of Bucky, so I just picked up I wonder why I've got COVID. And I just picked up a glass, poured the Bucky into, put the Bucky and just walked in. Just out of a fag. We saw the band twice. The thing that I had to let them down mostly, the crap name, and they were called the Gamma something. I'll look them up. The Gamma Riots. Something like that. The guitarist looked a bit like George Harrison. Had the tash and the hair, and he was playing a Telecaster thin line, and it sounded amazing. By far the best sounded guitar all weekend. When they were playing at that after show party, they were awesome. And then they played again the following night in the proper venue, and the guitarist was walking through the crowd playing his guitar like this. Like, yeah, crowd. Not a big venue, but great fun. I was the second youngest person there. The youngest person there was me, my pal Ian, his brother-in-law and his son. So his son was, I don't know, 25 or something like that. Was by far the youngest person there. The next one being me. Definitely for the old rockers. It was good though. Everyone was in a good mood. Was well organised. The caravan we were staying in was like 100 metres away from the venue, something like that. I'm actually wondering, it's just because it was really cold, it was really hot in the place and really cold outside, but I kept going out for a fag and then walking to the caravan and stuff, so I wonder if that's kind of why I got the flu. Is it just a virus, or can you get it from doing that? I don't know. It's kind of weird talking. I've not even spoke for the last 3 days. I'm just doing this to say I will be back. I didn't die. I'm past the worst bit. I'm just getting that horrible sort of hot and cold thing going on just now. I've got some pedals that I want to do. But unfortunately, I've lent my keyboard stand, so I need to work out some other way of doing my picture-in-picture thing. Probably you can give me a couple of pedals to do. I don't really want to touch them because I'm ill. One of them was up there, Andy's hand was up here. This is a bass rap pedal. I was like, oh, bass rap pedal. And this pedal, this is like the 90s in a box. And I was like, you know the bit where like Luke Skywalker in Last Jedi, he gets given his lightsaber. It's like, oh, it's all the 90s, is it? Next, so. That might be really good though. So it's like grunge in a pedal like that. Oh, superb. So there's a bass rap pedal. Oh, I want a shot of a bass rap pedal. That sounds fantastic. I also got some Jim Deacon stuff coming up. Maybe not this week now. I'm not feeling very well, but next week. With these, there's a couple of Jim Deacons sitting there, and they're actually pretty good. Me and Scott have been going a bit Jim Deacon mad. Scott's found Jim Deacon, the man. And he knew who I was. So I was like, yeah, Jim Deacon, we were talking about him. And he's the guy who originally set him up, signed the order for the first 20,000 instruments. He signed the cheque for them and all that. So there's no actual person called Jim Deacon, but that guy. And Scott's obviously said, Fabio Pal does a YouTube channel like Mad Malco. He's got all the Buckycasters. So he said, famous. Didn't get noticed when I was down in Wrigley, but I think I'm maybe just maybe I'm just too old for me. What other bands did I see? Some bands I didn't expect to see. I never thought I would actually. It's funny, I think we were watching a Girl School. They were actually really good. They must have been hot back in their day. Now they're now the 70s, but they were still really good. And I totally forgot that they covered The Gun, Race with the Devil, which is a pure amazing song which I totally forgot existed. I don't even know. Ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. Let us run, let it run, let it run within you run. Yeah, a band called The Gun did a song called Race with the Devil, which Girl School covered. I remember buying the single of... They never played the song I know either, Girl School. Their big hit, which was I've got a 10-inch... But it was a St. Valentine's Day Massacre or something, where it was got like Girl School and Motorhead dressed up as sort of like mafia types with like Tommy guns with the rotary gun magazine, stuff like that. I'm sure that song is the only song I knew apart from Race with the Devil, which isn't as good as the original Gun version, but it was good live. I also see. I never thought I would hear the Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon, Little Boy Blue and the Man on the Moon. So that's right, Ugly Kid Joe. They did that as well. They were really good as well. They played. They ended with Ace of Spades, which was just the perfect thing to end the whole festival with. We were just like mosh pit, it was the first half of the song. Everyone was getting quite into it, but see, by the time it got to the second half of the song, I was like, everyone there's older than me. So it really was a case of started off everyone and then it was like holding folk up, and then it was folk trying to get out, just being, everyone's just being, including me. It was fun. What else happened? You start drinking during the day. But as a young Matthew, John's son who was with us at playing drinking games, which I've never saw the point in playing drinking games. It's a very studenty thing to do. It's from St Andrews, so it's like a bit poncy. But wow, it's like drinking games, and it was like playing cards, and it was like you take a card, and then you had to, depending on what it was, you had to take a drink, and then you had to put your finger up your nose, and all these things, and it was like, it was kind of alright, but I mean, we just ended up pure mangled, and this is like, half an hour after we got there, and then you spent the rest of the time just really not knowing what's going on, especially pal Ian. You just like, we were sitting there like that, and he'd managed to drink like 3 cans of lager in 10 minutes, and you're like, you're not going to be, and I was actually quite funny later on that night. He was, I thought my ears had gone, because he kept talking to me during the concert. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but the thing is, I can understand what the other two were saying, and then we were outside and we were walking back, and he was just going, there's a wee bit over there, and it was like, that's why I couldn't understand you, you're total talking gibberish. That's what you get for drinking games. He actually lost his phone, got lost his phone, and I found his phone, got it back, so I was pretty good. 1,400 quid apparently that phone costs. I just lost it and I found it. Mental. Who else did we see? Can't remember. I saw a wee bit of I never thought I'd ever hear Robot, da 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 da, Robot from Hawkwind PXR5. There was a band called the Hawk Lords or something like that. No idea who was in it, but I'd imagine some of them must have been in Hawkwind at the time of PXR5. PXR5's the one that's got a mains plug on the front with a sticker on it that says the sticker must not be removed. Because I remember when I was about 16 or something, my pal Robert, his sister had the record, and while she was away in Australia for a month, we picked off the sticker to see what was in below it. Pure ruined it. Picked off the sticker, and basically it was a wrongly wired plug. It had like the live going into the earth, so it would basically, if you plugged it in, it would just have blown you up. So that's why the sticker hadn't to be removed. What else was there? Was a bluegrassy band, the Chicken Fried Steak was their song with like a banjo-y thing, and there was quite a lot of very generic stuff. Very, like, see this whole modern rock thing. I don't really understand it. I mean, a lot of the music that was getting played on the Elixir thing in the caravan was like, see, like modern rock music. I just, it's kind of weird. There weren't an awful lot of gimmicks in any of the bands. They were just like pure, yes, we're a rock band. And it's like Les Paul, long hair. We play rock songs, and it's just like, they're all just rock. There weren't really that many that were like sort of stand out. Or was that the one with the mad? There weren't any gimmicks, or none of them were particularly catchy. It's kind of like rock's a weird thing these days. Maybe just getting old. Yeah. Anyhow, this is just I'm actually, I can sweat to death here and dying. I shall be back, and I'll make a proper return. I'll do some proper videos and stuff like that. Just cheers for bearing with me. that video, I need to have a look at that live stream I did on Monday night. It was just like, at that point I wasn't aware I was ill. It wasn't until after that at night I got the shivers, and that's when I suddenly thought, right, that's not just overload of Bucky. Getting the mad shivers is COVID or the flu, and the sleeps. But it kind of explains why I felt so bad driving up the road. It was like it was a torturous drive home. One of those ones that was like kind of dark and rainy, so you just kind of belting along the road and like looking at pin dots of light. Just like, how much longer to go? 4 hours? Oh, fuck. Oh. It was a toughie. But I survived, and even just standing up talking to you actually just perked me up quite a lot. I was literally till 11 o'clock this morning just... I kept watching things on YouTube, and then just I couldn't move to put on the next video. I used to watch Andor again. I vaguely remember watching that in some sort of mad COVID haze. I remember just sitting there trying to keep, like sitting there, I'm going to watch this, I'm going to enjoy this. And it's like, I definitely watched it. I definitely remember what happens. I don't think I enjoyed it in any way though, because I was constantly going, definitely going to try and watch this. Concentrate too hard. Anyhow, cheers everyone. Rock on. Thanks.